Hello, everybody. Mike Welsch coming to you from the brand new state-of-the-art multi-million-dollar paddock here at Churchill Downville. We unveiled for the first time opening night on Saturday. Then, of course, will have its first run. And this year's Oaks and Derby here with the Daily Racing Form. Kentucky Derby Clock report brought to you by Spendthrift Farm, the home of five-time reigning champion sire. In a mischief, the only stallion was sire back-to-back Kentucky Derby winners. 2020 Horse of the Year Authentic, and the following year they came back with Mandaloon. So this morning, activity as promised, one significant work here this morning. The only Derby worker actually, but it was an important one, was the Japanese invader, Forever Young. Got our first real serious look at him today. He had jockey Yusai Sakai in the saddle, and it was kind of an unusual and unorthodox work. Went with his usual workmate, or every day he goes with a horse from the part of trainer Dale Romans. This morning it was an unraced 3-year-old that served as his target. They broke off at the 6 furlong pole and went very slow, almost an open gallop for both of them, especially for Forever Young. They dropped back about 5 lengths. The fractions 14-4, 28-4, 55-4 for the opening half. What was just a little quicker than a 2-minute leg. It came a little closer at the quarter bowl, took some dirt, dropped inside, and then really blew out a quarter mile down the lane. His rider let him run through the stretch. Final quarter in 23-3, and then he eased up into the turn. Not a lot of gallop out. Final time for the 6 furlongs of pedestrian, 119-3. But that's the way the work was orchestrated. Last year, if you remember, Dermot Gaki, he had his big work for the Derby just 4 days prior to the race. Unfortunately, got a slow start, not the best of trips, finished 6th, and then came back 6 months later to run 2nd in the Breeders' Cup Classic. And I believe Forever Young is scheduled to have one more work here, probably next Wednesday, 4 days out before the race. So maybe we'll see a little bit more from him next week. Other than that, it was just routine training sessions. Again, pretty much the same schedule for everybody, just Steel endlessly, going pre-dawn under the lights. Society Man at 9 o'clock after the second renovation break. Everybody else during that 15-minute Derby Oaks window. Among the ones that caught my eye today, Encino, again, he is just full of himself. Very strong coming out of that victory in the Lexington. No decision, no confirmation yet on whether he is going to be entered in the Derby by trainer Brad Cocker. But I'm guessing the way he's looked here training the last few days, that's going to be a yes. Mystic Dan has been full of himself as well. Hard to handle for his rider in the morning. Plenty of energy on display coming out of that 59 and change work just a few days earlier. I like what I saw from Domestic Product today for trainer Chad Brown. He's been working very well down at Payson Park. He was 8 weeks idle coming into the Derby, but he looks like he's coming up to probably his best race yet. He's going to have to improve quite a lot just to hit the board from a figure standpoint, but he seems to be coming into the race doing very, very well. I think he could be a little sneaky on the board play at a big price for Chad Brown, along with his obviously more favorite stablemate, Sierra Leone. Resilience, no days off for Resilience or just FYI. They worked here Monday. They jogged yesterday, came back and galloped today. I thought both looked good coming out of their works. And as for other fillies I saw today that caught my eye, Ways and Means, definitely one of them. She's also been training terrifically, looking at the tapes of her works down at Payson Park. She'll have one more work here this weekend along with all the Chad Brown runners that are here now. And I thought Tarifa also had a very good morning. I like the way Tarifa looked for trainer Brad Cox as well. Now, the major work for the Oaks, the only work for the Oaks today came down at Gulfstream Park, as was the case yesterday. And then today it was Power Squeeze, who defeated Ways and Means in the Gulfstream Park Oaks. Power Squeeze went a half mile in company with her older Grade 2 winning stablemate, Olivia Darling, who's scheduled to run in the La Truenne here on Saturday night. And she was actually best of the team, according to my Clocker colleague down there. Went 25-3, 49 for the half, galloped went out 5/8 in 102, and then continued out a full mile in 142-1 while pulling away about 6 lengths from her older mate. So a very good effort for Power Squeeze. And I think she's another one of those horses who maybe not a win threat in the Oaks, but possibly capable of getting hitting the board, getting into those exotic plays at a decent price for trainer George Delgado. Now, the weather we're going to keep an eye on. Tomorrow, the lone work that I know scheduled is Anna Marie for the Derby. And then Friday, Saturday, it's going to get really hectic. There is some rain in the forecast for Friday. Hopefully, it's not going to disrupt training, or otherwise, all those horses move to Saturday. It'll really be a circus Saturday morning out there. Everybody getting in those important final works, including Fierceness, who's scheduled to work here on Friday. So we are going to be here right straight through Derby and Oaks weekend. So keep it here. Best coverage of the Kentucky Derby, Kentucky Oaks 2024, as always, at DRF.com.